Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, everyone. I am Eric your success concierge, and welcome to our December 7th stream, first stream of the month of December. Come winding down on the end part of the year, my favorite time of the year, the winter time, because it's a lot of amazing things that happen this time of the year. But what is our scent for today? This buddy right here, you can't see because it's there it is with the camera. Nasamato Duro. I really enjoy this fragrance. I had smelled it a while back. Um, yeah, I smelled it a while back, and I really enjoyed it. It's like a great for wintertime smell, very woodsy, leathery, that type of thing. And in my part of the world, the temperature's starting to drop a little bit. So when you think of cool weather, that's when people are dressing up a little bit, throwing on their leather. So This is a good leather spicy fragrance, really enjoyable. More than likely, I'm gonna have to do a fragrance review on this as well too. Puts me a little bit in the mindset of Tuscan leather from Tom Ford. They're very, very similar starting off, but there's some slight intricate differences. So yeah, you could tell for that. But again, this is something that you may want to add. You may want to throw into your winter selections so you can be prepared for that time of the year. So hopefully everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. And this is another reason why I like this time of year. So this is the time when people are taking time to spend time with family, going out, doing some things that's enjoyable and meaningful to them. So that's always good. And also too, when people reflect at this time of year, because December, on the calendar time, this is the last year of the month. I mean, excuse me, last month of the year, last month of the year. So this is like when you're starting to look at, what types of things, what went well, what areas can I improve on, uh, that I did for this particular year, and then you may be starting to look at or strategize or plan not just for next year, but for years to come. So we don't want to just focus just on one. We want to have a long-term strategy. So, what has your success concierge been up to? For me, like I said, I spent some time enjoying Thanksgiving, but I also am out here bettering myself so I can bring more value to you. I'm out here learning. I'm out here growing. I'm out here gathering and collecting tools so that I can add more value to you and put you in position to achieve your desired outcomes. So let's talk about the topic. Let's talk about the topic. Um, as an image consultant, what do I do? I help individuals and businesses put themselves in position to be even more successful and achieve your desired outcomes. So focus on a couple of areas: the appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint. So on the individual side, I can help you with your personal brand, your personal image, your fashion, your styling, those type of things. Even some of your career development skills as well too, because you're going to need certain skills like if you want to be a better presenter, you want to sell from stage, those types of things. Those are different areas that I focus on. And then on the corporate side, help you with your corporate brand. And there's a number of different ways we can flow that: your branding, your messaging, even advising you from a strategic standpoint, which we're going to get into a little bit later, as well as how you train your employees, different techniques for that to improve practices, and then maybe like dress codes, those types of things as well too. So you see the topic at hand. I think this is like a really, really good topic for this time of the year because this is when the sales have been going on. So it used to be just Black Friday, but I think they should call it like Black November, and maybe they did this because of COVID or for safety reasons. And because what happens is people were just bum rushing things, people was getting hurt, people was getting injured, so they wanted to space it out, right? And then again, you have the major holidays, Christmas, and even sales season goes all the way up into Valentine's Day. So let's talk about selling out. And we talk about selling out from, okay, I have this product or service that I want to sell, I want to move, but then we talk about that from an image perspective, right? So a lot of times there's pressure from both sides, all genders. Are you selling out? Are you doing this just for that, right? And so we're going to talk about that a lot in this particular topic. I want to go into the presentation first, and then it's going to like really allow me to focus and drill down on some of these other questions and other things, and you're going to see and get an idea of why it is that I'm doing what I'm doing on this particular stream when I'm talking about selling out. All right, because there's pressures on both sides for people to like, are they? And you're going to see even from this particular brand assessment, or you may hear people talk about authentic. And so when I talk about the ABCDs of image, that and I talk about congruency, that's what they mean by authentic, right? So we got a little bit of a switch for gears from some or someone you might necessarily used to, but there's a lot of lessons to be learned in this here from an inspirational standpoint, an image standpoint, and some other things to help you learn some things. So I am Eric Hall, your success concierge. We're going to go ahead and get into it. Let's get started. So give me 1 second here. Let me get my presentation up. Salute to everyone tuning in to the chat. Hopefully everyone came through, had a good Thanksgiving, good time with their family, loved ones, and got to enjoy some quality time, some quality food. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. All right, so all right. So let's jump right into this case study, and I want you to like this is a very interesting case study, and the reason one of the reasons why I wanted to share it with you is because some individuals may have had some of these challenges in the past. You may be currently facing some of these challenges, and this is going to help you because we got a lot of people out there who are running businesses, want to run businesses, or just want to improve their outcomes. So let's go ahead and jump into this. And this is a case study on Jamie Kern Lima and It Cosmetics. So yeah, so this is her, Jamie. This is her husband, and she used to be a waitress at Denny's, and she just well, when I say average person, I'm just she wasn't someone who was striving to do business and do those types of things. She used to work at Denny's. That was part of what she did. She graduated college. She used to be a news anchor, which is very key to this aspect of the story that we're going to be talking about later. And then this is just a picture of her and her husband. They were married in 2008. All right, so Jamie had skin issues, and it was affecting her quality of life. So this is her many years ago, and one thing I want to point out is just look at the consistency of her appearance and dress over time. All right, so she suffered from rosacea. For some who may or may not know, that's like a reddening of the skin. Jamie here, she is very fair skinned. So if you're having red skin issues, it's gonna really be present on that. She worked on the morning show, so sometimes she had to get to work around midnight just to prep for the show. Because again, if you having skin issues, even whether you do or don't, when you're on TV, there's pressures to everyone wears makeup, the men, women, so you can look good on the camera. Also, when you're in those types of studios, there's a lot of heat and light. So she had a hard time finding makeups that worked for her, and she had like some embarrassing moments on the air. So you may not know when you see these people on TV shows on and broadcast, these people have earpieces in their ear and people are talking to them. So she had some makeup issues and some facial issues, and they're like, yeah, wipe your face, wipe your face, wipe your face. But it wasn't her face, it was like the makeup failing her and the skin coming through, and her red skin coming through. So these were types of things that served as an embarrassment for her. And she saw a challenge, and this is the birth of this brand, It Cosmetics. All right, so she started this business out of her apartment, her and her husband, like with no experience. So she spent time doing like market research, exploring, trying some different things. But we got a lot of entrepreneurs out there, and so sometimes it takes time to turn a profit. So she was unable to pay herself for 3 years. All right. She did numerous meetings with various brands like QVC, CVS, Ulta, L'Oreal, and a lot of brands because she wanted them to either stage her product, allow her to sell her product, or even purchase their product from her. And so she would get to the meetings, they would like her product, and she would get the answer of no. All right. And so she didn't know why. So one time she was talking to this venture capitalist, and she asked the question, like he got to, they had multiple meetings. He was gonna help her get into stores, get on TV, get into these locations so she could really push her product out there. And she did multiple meetings. Now, again, as I said, she wasn't paying herself for 3 years. So, she was flying across the country. This is before the time where we could do all these Zoom meetings and have these meetings. So she's spending money to travel to these locations. And so, she got all the way to the end. And this is why I said perceived image affecting outcomes, which we're going to really discuss and drill down onto. And she asked the person, like, you said you like my product, you said this and that. And this is what he said. He said, I wouldn't buy makeup from someone who looks like you with your body and your weight. And that kind of affected her because when you think about makeup and you think about makeup brands, you see like all the models, all those types of things. But that was not necessarily her target market. And we're going to really dig into that when we talk about outcomes. So in her mind, that really aided her, not because she felt like she had to look a certain way, because she had a different mindset, but because in her mind, she knew she was going to prove this person wrong. All right. So this was her vision, right? Now you see like the ladies here in this image, you have women of all ages, all races, sizes, such and so forth, because she wanted she wanted to solve a problem and help people feel beautiful, right? Because she didn't want to have fake authenticity, as some brands get you distracted by that. Because in fashion and image, which this is another challenge I say, but you have a lot of people who put stuff on where they not may not be the target market, or they may not be the ideal customer. They look like the vision of the perfect customer, but they may not be. And I want you to pay attention to that as we get into it. So she just had a lot of struggles, but when she kept persevering, she got an opportunity with QVC, and she got very excited. So this is, but it wasn't all roses and everything, right? Because she's like, okay, you're gonna get 10 minutes. Okay, great. I've been wanting to get the QVC. And she, even at that time, she was still under pressure to get like models and whatnot to help her, sell her product. And so it when she got there, and she didn't know this till the end, or when she was getting close to her opportunity, they said, okay, you get a 10-minute spot. Okay, fine. I'm happy. I'm excited about that. And then they were saying, okay, we have a certain amount of product that you have to sell. And if your product is not selling and doing well, then we're going to pull the plug on you, regardless of whether the 10 minutes or not, right? And then they weren't buying the products up front. QVC wasn't. She had to supply her own products. Now think about this. This is someone who was struggling for money, struggling for resources. But so she had to supply her own products and then sell them, and that's how she was going to get her money back. But she searched and had a difficult time, but she did find someone to give her a loan so she could in fact manufacture the product. All right. So she has success. This is like, I love this picture right here because this is her being authentic. She wiped the makeup off her face so she could see that it works. So you see the left side, depending on whatever side you're looking at, there's makeup on, and then you can see the rosacea side on the other side. And this was the one thing she wanted to do that people were telling her not to do, but she did it, and she had success with that. So she was nervous. She actually crushed it. Like, I think with 8 minutes left, they hit the sell out sign, and she was getting really nervous all through the process. And she's had a lot of success, and now has stores are now that told her no, are now carrying her line. All right. And so what happened with It's Cosmetics? They really took off. They had consistent growth off of QVC. They ended up selling to L'Oreal for $1.2 billion last year, which is 2022. They did 211 million in revenue, and she became the first female CEO at L'Oreal. And like, as a result of that, she has some philanthropic things that she does. She wants to do like loans to help women in business and those type of things. So she used that to fuel that aspect. All right. And again, this is her. She wanted to focus on being authentic, right? She wanted to really truly serve the individuals that you have here. And again, this is her. And again, today she's an author, speaker, and philanthropist. And so that's what I wanted to talk about as it relates to her. But one thing I really want you to notice is, yes, this woman is a billionaire. She does well, but again, her style, personality has not changed much over time. All right. She was true and authentic to herself. All right. So let's come back in here. So why is that important? Right. So um, this is a lesson in identifying who you are, being authentic for what you want to do, and then focusing on that outcome. So we talk about selling out a lot, but did she really sell out? Well, obviously she didn't. She stayed true to herself and put herself in position, kept fighting, kept going through, because one, she knew what would resonate with her customers. And so I know I'm gonna probably get some pushback because yes, I'm an image consultant, I'm a style person, and I tell people to be better. The lesson learned in this right here is being incongruent. And if, in my mind, I'm 100% certain of this, if she had used the models and the people who didn't look like her, no one would have believed, like, they didn't think of whoever you deem most beautiful. No one would believe that this most beautiful woman, had the same problems that the other not so people, average women or not supermodel look women had. And so I personally think that would have affected her brand. and it affected her ability to sell, make money, and really resonate with people. But because of her energy, those types of things, she was able to be successful. Now, why did I pick her? I actually, I'm out here doing my life. I'm out here enjoying things. So I actually got to see her on stage, see her speak. And I felt like that story was very inspirational, as well as a learning lesson and a teachable moment. So this is my favorite part. I want to welcome everyone again. This is where we take your questions. You can come in, chime in, as well as you can come in and get on the screen, and we can have a conversation. Hopefully everyone had a great holiday. Let's get into it. Man, I know the question's gonna be interesting today because yeah, it's that time of the year. All right, so let's go to the first question here. All right, so how do I know what type of business to start? This is like a really, really good question, especially like what we saw in this previous presentation right here. And I get this question very, very, very frequently from individuals who, again, they want to be entrepreneurs, they want to do their thing. And I applaud you, and this is what we're here for as well too. So, like, let's dig into that particular question. All right, how do I know what type of business start? So, when we look at what businesses do, they do two things. They solve one, they solve a problem, or two, they provide the experience. So to you who's asking this question, and to individuals who ask me this question all the time, I ask, what is the problem that you wanted to solve? And they may have an idea, or they may want to provide an experience, right? Because going to a restaurant solves two problems. You get a meal, but then sometimes they may have a ambiance. That's an experience as well too. So I would say look at those two things and identify that, and then maybe look at something you're passionate about, your skill set is, and does your skill, and it may require some fine tuning, some conversation, but does your passion or what you enjoy solve a specific problem? And you may not be able to think of it initially, but take some time, think effort on that. All right, so that's the first step. Then let's look at, if it's a business that's already out there, is there a model that already does that? So is there a model that you can copy, that you can learn from, that you can use the tools, techniques for that? And that could be, there's something that's already done, or you may buy into a business and or franchise that already has a lot of the tools and things that are already in place, where you just have to plug and play into their system, and that's going to help you be successful. All right, or do you want to start something from scratch? So those are the couple of the high level baseline questions that I talk with people about, and I ask them about that, because we have to start there, and then we can drill down and dig into, what resources do you have or need to acquire? What skill sets do you have or need to acquire, outset or outsource? What do you know about your customers and how they shop, buy, do those types of things? And is the timing right for what you do? And just your overall business acumen. So those are like high level questions, and this is just a general conversation. But this is what I would do specifically if I was working with someone. I would go through these questions with an individual in a consultation, and I would get feedback, answers, and whatnot. And then it wouldn't come from me. We would talk together, work together, and see what a good fit is for them. All right. So that's what I would say for starting a business. And now is an amazing time to start a business. I always say this, right? Like, this is a time where things are unshaky, and this is where breakthroughs happen, great things happen. And you look at companies that are doing well today, that's been around a long time. A lot of them started back when times were hard economically. And also too, we live in a time now where you have access to internet. There's low barriers for entry to doing a lot of things that you do. So if you're curious to start a business, or just now starting a business, I salute you, man, because this is that time. So we here to get it in. All right. So yeah, let's see if we have any more questions here. I love answering these types of questions, because like, I really just want to make sure I'm putting people in position to get their desired outcomes. I know that I say that frequently, but this is what you want in your life. And so I want to make sure I bring what's in here and in here out there, so you can win and be successful and have, the life and business, whatever it is that you choose to have. All right. All right, let's go. Let's see if we have any more questions right here. All right. So, what type of outerwear do you recommend? I guess they meant to say outwear. Okay. What type of outerwear do you recommend for men under 30? All right. So, this is great. It's that time of year. It's wintertime. And so, I always go to my fundamentals of like where you're going to wear it to, what's the message you're going to send. And I'm assuming that you already have this or already bought it, but of course, the value proposition that goes along with that. All right, so outerwear. Now, if you're going to be dressing up in like a suit or something like that, my personal preference, and I highly recommend overcoat. Now, it's funny because I remember back in the day when I was younger, we had a guy who's be in the suit, and then they have a leather jacket with a team logo on there. That's a no-no. So you want to make sure that you have like a nice overcoat. Even this time of year, you can do bomber jackets if you're doing something a little bit more casual. I always like the leather jackets, the motorcycle style jackets. Those are very versatile, regardless of your style personality. And then you got to look at how do you protect your body as well too. So you may look at hats, and that's going to depend again on your style, personality, your location, the type of weather that you're in. But you definitely want to stay healthy with that, and then also too gloves, things like that to protect your hands as well too. So that's kind of like my high level question as well too. But it also would depend on the type of events, the type of things that you're going to, what type of things that you're going to wear. So if you're going to something business casual, of course you wouldn't want to wear the motorcycle jacket. The overcoat is amazing. It's versatile. You can wear that from the boardroom to the ball game. So that is a piece that is very versatile as well, and then it can be styled up and styled down. So I may have to do some content around overcoats, and then of course you can do your accessories like your scarves, your hats. It just really depends on where you are in the world and what type of the weather and lifestyle that you're going to be living. But I love that. I love accessories that can add some fashion, but also to add warmth. A couple materials that I like to look at for this time. I like wool over cotton. It's going to be, because you may have moisture. So the wool is going to be breathable, but it's going to also keep the heat in. And also, too, if you're somewhere and it rains, wool it absorbs. It doesn't go through like cotton does. So again, that's going to protect you a little bit better as well too. And a helpful hint too, for people who like to travel as well, I say crushable hats. Now I might have to do something on crushable hats. Crushable hat is like, and I do have some nice hats, and then I have some other less expensive hats that I wear, so I don't really mind. But you can get crushable hats where you can put them in your luggage, put them in your bag, and they're going to still maintain shape. So that's something that's a little secret tip for versatility that you can have. But yeah, that's what I recommend for the men under 30. I like these questions. I was out and about earlier today, met some young men, college age athletes, and so they're really looking at building up their resume, or shall I say, digital footprint, making sure they look the part, sound the part as well too. Because we live in a highly competitive world, so you have to do some things that's going to help you differentiate yourself, give you the edge, and put you in position to win. All right. So let's see what other question we got right here. All right. So why are you talking about makeup when you focus on men's fashion? All right. So we might have a troll or something in here, but we know how to handle those as well too. So again, I talked earlier is because one, you're supposed to be learning something from the lesson at hand. All right. So we talk about success principles. We talk about image, and your success concierge. Yeah, I focus on men's fashion, but I can deal with men, I can deal with women, I can deal with corporations. So I like to stretch myself, show my versatility. Now, even from a men's fashion standpoint, it the key lesson out of that whole situation was being congruent in who you are and your outcome. All right. So again, her target market was not the supermodels. Her target market wasn't this, it wasn't that. It was the average woman who has skin issues. So the lesson to be learned here is, are you being authentic to yourself for the outcomes that you say you want? So the lesson, there's a lot of teachable moments in here, but also too, I do have women who watch my channel. I'm not going to be talking about makeup like heavy like that. This is just a lesson and inspiration for business individuals out there. So hopefully, you take that well and you learn something. All right, so let's go to the next question. We're not going to spend too much time on that. All right, so how would you have advised Jamie Kern Lima? How would I have advised her? So a couple of things that what I would do. All right, and the really difficult challenge for me on this right here is I don't have all the information. One thing I would have done earlier is uh, get that feedback, because the way it seemed from the story that I saw was she wasn't necessarily clear on why they were telling her no. And so when you're going through the process and spinning wheels, she wasn't. You don't know what to adjust, what not to adjust. You just keep giving more and more effort, but you may be putting that effort in the wrong direction or in the wrong place. So me personally, if I would have looked to get feedback earlier from that. All right. So, uh, and then I would have known that they have challenges with her look, her appearance, her issue. Now, how would I have personally counted that? I would have looked at, and again, I don't know what her finances are like or were like at that time. I'm just saying, like, let's just say this is an option. I would have looked at who her target market is and then presented information and data from focus group that shows, women want to buy from women who they feel like they can relate to, who they feel like are authentic. And we saw in this story, in this mission, and some of her outcomes and why her brand is still continues to do well today is because she still lives that and does that even to this day. So what I would have done is try to get to that a little bit sooner, rather than later. And one thing, when I deal with businesses, we have risks, and so, or potential risk. And so when you identify the risk early, you can put some things in place to mitigate those risks or minimize those risks. So that's the area that I would have specifically worked on for her in those presentations. And so, or even those presentations, those meetings that she was doing. So maybe that would have given her extra tool that would have helped her close the deal a little bit better, a little bit faster. All right. But I will say this, right? So some of her challenges and things that she went through, that was character building. She learned some lessons business wise. She learned how to relate to people. She learned a lot of skills. And then again, since she was a news anchor, I probably wouldn't have as much issue with her, communication, because she does that for a living. But we could have looked at some of the behavior things and the digital footprint and how she marketed a little bit different initially. Now she's doing amazing things, and that brand is doing amazing things. Another great question. All right. So yeah, I mean, I thank y'all for tuning in. I always like having good questions, getting good feedback from individuals as well too. That's what we're here to do. We're here to learn, grow, improve, and add value. That's what I want to do. I want to add value. And then another thing too, I will say, I see a lot of people in this space, not necessarily the YouTube space or the presentation space, but in the image consulting, the styling space. And it seems like, and one lesson we learn here is they want to take a cookie cutter approach to solving problems. They want to take a cookie cutter approach to fashion, a cookie cutter approach to image. And as we see, um, you have to be authentic and know what's important to your end users, your end customers, and be congruent. Or they use the word authentic. That's the same thing I say when I say congruent to your image, the ABCDs. All right, let's see if we have any more questions right here. All right. Is dressing in suits and dressing up a form of selling out? Y'all coming for my helmet today. All right, so let's talk about that. All right. So is dressing in suits a form of selling out? Well, there's a yes and a no to that. Okay. It depends on like what the outcome is that you want to get and the occasion. So for example, I don't care what celebrity you got, when they go to court, what they do? They put on suits, right? And the reason they do that is because they want to improve their outcome. So their outcome improvement is one, when they wear a suit to dress up, whether there is criminally, business, a criminal case, a civil case, that type of thing. The suit gives, and I probably have to do a video on suit psychology, but the suit gives the impression of, okay, this is someone who's professional. This is someone who's perceived to be a law-abiding citizen. This is someone who is thorough business, and so it kind of changes the way people look and perceive. But then you follow that up with your behavior, your communication, as well as your digital footprint. Now, my question to you is, especially as it relates to this particular topic right here, or the case study at hand that we're doing today. In this instance, Jamie, she was she wanted to be relatable to a mass group of people, and so that's her image, and she kept that throughout the process. Now, you asking me, is wearing a suit a form of selling out? My question is, what is the outcome that you want to get, and where are you playing at, where are you residing at, what are you looking to do? Okay, so again, I touched briefly on some of the psychological effects of thought process of wearing a suit or dressing better or dressing well, but it says a couple of things, right? So let's step back for a second. All right. So let's just say you're anti-suit or anti what have you. All right. So let's just say you're gonna wear a football jersey or whatever you're gonna wear. So then my question would be, one, where are you gonna wear it to? So where are you wearing this jersey? You going to a ball game? No issue for me. You going to a sports bar? No issue for me. You going to a party or a work function? May make me question that, may make me think. All right. But okay, fine. And then what's the message that you want to send? Ooh, that's probably where I got you right there. Because a lot of individuals out here put things on, maybe subconsciously, and maybe their message that they're sending is actually not as congruent with the message that they really want to send or they perceive to send. So we have to look at and examine that. All right. And then and then what's the outcome that you want to get from that situation? So is wearing a suit selling out, or is this an opportunity for you to go out there and get better? Because getting better is not like you want a different outcome, then you have to change your appearance and behavior first and foremost in your communication. So taking steps to do that, that's smart to do because you're taking a step to better yourself and better your outcomes. And is that truly who you are? Are you trying to pull the wool on your over someone's eyes just for the sake of doing something that you're really not? Or are you wanting to look and improve? And then of course, depending on the environments that you go in, there is a dress code. So in the workplace, there's a dress code. Just like if you're an athlete, there's a dress code. I can't come to a football game to play football in baseball uniform. I'm gonna get hurt. Same with basketball. You can't go to the firehouse in a doctor's outfit. So all those factors are important because there are certain standards, and you choose what it is that you want to do. So if you want to call it that, I say to you, cool. Are you getting the outcomes that you want? Are you playing at the highest level that you can play it? Is everything working out for you? If it is, salute to you. But if this is an opportunity for you to learn, grow, and improve, then we look at all of that and take steps to get in that direction. All right, so that's that right there. I'm not gonna be long with it. I'm from the South. I never could have been a Southern preacher because I don't like to talk that long about certain things. I like to get to it and get on to the next one as well too. But no, I love these types of questions right here. Like I call them things to one show uh, the versatility of the skill set here, and also to provide information to people out there who need it. All right, let's see if we have any questions, any more questions. All right, cool. Let's see here. All right. Do you ever see yourself doing a case study on companies? I think about it. I prefer to do the study on the person running the company, and here's why. All right, I've done case studies many, many years ago when I was in university, and I wanted to get information and learn things about business. Right now, there's not really companies that I would consider. Now, this it's twofold. It's not that I'm not fascinated and like to learn from companies, but I'm coming here. I'm providing this information. I'm providing value, and that's like me consulting. So, if an organization want to put me on the payroll to do this and make observations and recommendations, I would definitely do that. But I don't really see like doing that now per se. Now I may go back and look at some decisions from the past or other things that a company has done, but I don't really see doing a case study on a specific company that's active right now, going through challenges, going through what they're doing, going through their ups, downs, whatever the case may be. If I'm not on the payroll, so and that's one thing that always fascinated me. Organizations, that sometimes you come to interview or come to talk with them, and they say, "How would you solve this problem?" And it's a specific problem to that organization, and you provide them the insight. Now they don't need you anymore, right? So again, companies, I do this on people, I do this on case studies and such and so forth, so you can learn and see the skill set that I have. And then, like as we go forward, maybe I have some of the companies, some of the individuals I work with. I'll let them provide reviews and feedbacks on the good work that I do for them, so you can get some more information on that. I enjoy helping people, but again, we don't just give stuff away just for the sake of giving it away. All right, so we about quarter till. Let's see if we got any comments in the chat. Yeah, let's see here. The likeness and videography. I hate when they yeah, I really do. Because here's the thing, right? When and when you're looking to hire someone, right? It should be three things that you look at. Number one, and can they do the job? Are they capable of doing the job? Right. Number two, will they do the job? When I say will they do the job, will they do that like they're capable of doing it? Will they do it? Like everybody is capable of showing up at a location on time, but will you do it consistently? All right. So that's the other thing. And then the third thing is, do they fit in your culture and your team environment? So I know a lot of times companies, they do these types of things to get ideas, get ways to handle things, get ways to solve problems, and not do that. No, we don't. That's not a good use of time. So if I were a company and I want to get the information, I may do a false equivalent or a false story that is detached from that, or just get some insights and questions how the individual thinks, and so they can you can see, does that resonate with you and resonate with your organization. So yeah, I hate that as well too. So yeah, and y'all got to get better. Not y'all as my people out here listening, but these companies out here who want people to do that. It can be helpful. It can be detrimental. I mean, even on the tech side and the designer side, they give them tasks to do to see that they're competent in that skill. And there's better ways and less exploitive ways than making you do that for them. All right. Let's see if we have any more questions. All right. Let's see, man. What y'all talking about today? How do you feel about the passport bros? Well, y'all, boy, what y'all doing today? Y'all coming for me? All right. So I guess they had too much yams over the time. So how do I feel about passport bros? um I'm not moved by it. And when I say I'm not moved by it, I feel like people, I've never been one to police or manage or guard people's choices on what they do or what they or who they choose to do it with. And it's all about outcomes and people getting what they want and what they need. I've seen arguments pro for. I've seen people um, say they're doing over there tricking, going over doing that. Hey, what is their desired outcome? And if they feel like to get that outcome they have to go do this or that, then why does that matter to you? And typically, I mean, for people, like as a salesperson, as a person myself, my job is to make sure I'm providing a good product, providing things that people need out there. And so that's what I need to do. So if someone is triggered or bothered by that, then they have two choices. What is the need that their or service problem solved that they're seeking outside for? And are you willing to meet that? And if you're not, then keep doing you. If you do, then what does that mean? That means you're going to have to go out there and compete for those people, and are those people that you want or don't want? So I think a lot of times people um, make arguments for the sake of making arguments, just being contrary to certain things. But as far as passport bros, now just traveling internationally and learning something, I think that's something all people should do, because there's a lot of amazing places in the world, a lot of amazing skill sets, a lot of amazing things that people can out there that can see, and you only learn that by getting out of your space. So if that's what you're talking about, I'm all for that. I'm all for people learning, growing, exploring, and connecting with people so they can learn different lessons and do different things. But yeah, that's my take on. Let me see if we got any comments. 'Cause y'all been coming for me this evening. All right, so we don't have any people dissenting on that as well too. So yeah, in this day and age too, I mean, people have always traveled. Going back, how did settlers get here? How did colonization happen? People going over there doing certain things. Sometimes they was exploring. Sometimes they was conquering. Sometimes they was pillaging, and sometimes they was having a good time, and sometimes they was bringing back mates. That's not a new phenomenon. I just think in this day and age where it's easier to travel. It's easier to connect with people in different parts of the world. I have people sometimes I look at my analytics. I see people in other parts of the world tuning into me. So salute to you. Thank y'all for tuning in. So I just think it's smart to travel, enjoy life, and do what it is you do. As long as you're not hurting nobody, I'm not worried about it. It's all about what you want to do and what your outcomes are. So yeah, that's my take on that. I know we got a lot of people who are pro con on that. Maybe they'll invite me up and we can have a dialogue about it. But I'm the type of person, hey, I worry about what eHall needs to be doing, and I let people make the choices they want to make in order to, get the outcomes they want and things of that nature as well too. So yeah, and on a side note too, your success concierge does work with matchmakers. Because here's the thing, right? When you have someone who wants to go and deal with the matchmaker, they're saying, okay, maybe my schedule is busy, maybe it's this or that, and these type of things. So I don't really have time to do that, and maybe you just haven't had a lot of experience in that space, working your conversation, dating the image muscles. So as a image consultant, I want to make sure your appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint is on point. Because again, when you're meeting people, you want to put your best foot forward. You want to come forth as authentic. You want to be the best version of yourself, and that's what we do. So it may be some things to help you improve in those areas, and your success concierge got you covered. That's what I enjoy doing as well too. And be honest, I have had those type of individuals reach out to me because their clients want to put their best foot forward. And again, why would you do that? Appearance, behavior, communication, digital footprint. So you may have gone from a college grad to now you're a busy professional. Your image, you have to make sure it's congruent from that. You may be someone who's an empty nester. It doesn't matter. We got to make sure that you're on point. Or you may be someone who just, won the lotto or just started a new business or just got an executive role. And now you have to have perform and be in places that you're not normally used to. And you want to make sure that I've had some people contact me about that. Yeah. All right. How should I manage my image at holiday parties? Yeah, it's that time of year. So this is fascinating because there's a lot of holiday parties, holiday seasons going up, and so it's going to be two different types of things. One, you may have family friend type of holiday parties, and so that's going to be different than if you have corporate, professional, those type of holiday parties. So let's tackle the holiday family parties, and then we'll go to the corporate, professional holiday parties as well too. So from the family side, you got to be yourself and be authentic. And this rule is going to be same for corporate policies as well too. Try not to overindulge in the things that people overindulge in. There may be libations, so you have to be mindful of that. Also, too, from a gift giving standpoint, you want to make sure you're in congruence with those types of things as well too. And so let's just say, for example, money funny or whatever, then you may adjust what you do, what you give, how you do that, or you may decline to do that. But etiquette is also important in how you act, behave, whether you're going to be the one going to the event as well as hosting. Secret Santa is always a funny game, as well as white elephant. Now, on the corporate side, same type of thing. Now, you may have a little bit of flexibility You might not normally wear certain outfits, but again, ugly sweaters, that's that time of year, so that is perfectly acceptable. You just have to be who you are, and so if you the class clown, then you might want to dress up like one of Santa's elves. But if you more casual professional, you might just want to put on a sweater. You might just want to wear the colors of the holiday season, so you can get holiday colors, holiday festive, without really going too far or going and putting yourself in a space that makes you feel comfortable. And also too, when in these types of situations, know the dress code ahead of time, because again, some it could be holiday. I know they do a lot of formal things here that requires tuxedos. There's an event here where you wear tuxedos, but they only will let you wear the black one. They won't let you wear the white one. They won't let you wear the denim jacks in different color. So you need to know the dress code for that, and then just manage your time, and make sure it fits into what it is that you need to be doing. So yeah, that's how we're gonna get you ready for the holiday. Your success concierge is doing that. Let's see if we have any more questions that we have to get to. Any comments out there? You can definitely call in, tune in. If you have specific questions. But this is my thought process for you. Was 2023 the way you wanted it to be? Did you get the desired outcomes? Did you learn? Did you grow? Do you have new tools and strategies to implement in 2024? Ask yourself that. And if not, then put a call into your success concierge, because again, I want to make sure that I put you in position to achieve your desired outcomes. So let's see if we have any more questions. I guess we have none, which is fine. I mean, I'm just here to do what we need to do. But again, I know this is the time of year where people may be traveling, so I bid you safe travels, bid you joy. And this is your success concierge, providing you the vision, tools, and opportunity for your desired success. And we are out. Salute.